Hi, I'm Brittany Poley, and for my blended learning tool presentation, I've selected iMovie. I selected this tool because as a Mac user, it's already on my computer. It didn't cost anything. I didn't have to do a free trial that would then expire, and now I'm able to use this tool for future presentations. I am going to go over first an overview of how the tool works, followed by how it can be used in a blended learning environment, and then how it supports learning and what I ultimately recommend as far as this tool goes. I'll show you the basics of using iMovie. So when you first open it up, you'll end up here on Media, where you can view all of your pictures and movies here. We also have our projects, which will have projects that you've done in the past, as well as you can create new movie or a trailer. A trailer is going to be a Hollywood-style effect. It will tell you exactly which videos to take. It'll say take a landscape here, a close-up of a person here, and it will guide you through a trailer for a movie. We are not going to do that one though. Now that we've canceled that, we usually will be making a movie where we can combine videos, photos, and sound effects to create your own movie. And I'll also show you that the theater is where your shared projects will show. I'll open a new movie, and you end up with a Finder bar over here. Right here, this section is called your media library. It'll show any imported media that you have. You have your preview screen over here, and then you have your timeline down here that will actually be showing your movie. First thing I'll show you is importing your media. You'll just click on that down arrow, and then you can go and import whatever movie that you want. And I'll import selected. All right, as you can see, audio shows up as a waveform, and the movies will show up like so. You can also view just your audio. Right here, you'll see title effects. These will show different ways that you can have text show up in your video as overlays. Different backgrounds that you can use in case you don't want to use a picture or a video as your background, as well as different transitions that you can use between slides. Using the gear bar, you can also edit how big you want each of your clips, how zoomed in you want each of them, and you can show the waveforms for the audio in addition to the videos. So you drag and dropping. So now that I've imported these here, I can just drag and drop them down into my timeline and kind of put them in whatever order I want here. All right, now that I have a couple of things down here, I'll show you can also import audio on top of what you have, and that will play it. You can separate the audio from your video, and then in here you can edit how your audio goes. So if I want the audio to kind of fade in, I can edit it here, and to fade out, it would be the same thing at the end. You can also split your audio or your video by pressing the split clip. Now I can delete entire sections of audio, move the rest around. I can do the same thing for the ending of an audio. I want to cut out a middle section of my video. I'll just select that video. I can split my clip here, and then let's say this is the end of my mess up. I'll split it again here, and now I can simply delete this middle section and everything else will move up. If I want to remove the beginning section of clip, it's easier if I just bring it in, the same thing from the end. I'll show you how I add titles, since I only briefly selected that. So I can drag and drop this down to the beginning. Once it's selected, I can edit it up here, like so. And that will show, if I had actually wanted it above something, I can actually drag it above it, and then it will show it on top of my video. And I can also edit how long to show the title by dragging and dropping the beginning or end, and I can move it anywhere I want. Let's say that I want to add a transition. I want to fade to black between my intro and this. I drag and drop it right into that little space, and it will show as a fade now. Now up to these. Up here you'll have autocorrect, enhance. You don't really have much control over what it does, but it does give you a baseline correction of color and audio. Or you can manually play with the colors. First I'll need to select some video that I can play with the colors. So I can change my color balance. Again, auto will do something similar to the enhance button, and it'll mod it. You can match color between more than one clip. With white balance, you can kind of just eyedrop with where the white should be, and it'll automatically adjust the other colors in the video. Or if you have a video with skin tone in it, you can select the skin tone balance and it'll try to balance that out. I don't like that one, I'm going to leave it as is. Here you can play around with the color balances. You can make it lighter or darker. You can change the color balance manually. You can go completely black and white, and then you can go cooler or warmer colors. I'm going to leave pretty much everything right in the middle here. Or we can just reset it all. The cropping is a really cool feature. So as a default, it will fit, but you can also crop to fill, meaning that I can say I don't want my printer in the background here, so I am going to crop it. Now this will be the only thing that displays in my video. I can also choose to do a Ken Burns effect, where it will zoom in from the start to end. So let's say I want my start to be this corner here, and then I want to zoom over and kind of act like I was panning my screen. I can do that here. You can also flip your video from this screen as well. The stabilizing shaking video is a really cool feature. I used that when I was videotaping my kids outside. Basically, if you have a handheld video, it will do a pretty decent job of stabilizing your video. It won't stabilize everything, but it does a decent job of it. You can mess with the audio. You can say that when this video is playing, I want to lower the volume on all my other clips. And this is also where I can change the volume here. So I can make it louder or softer if I don't like how it was playing in my original audio. This will allow me to reduce background noise, which I will definitely do because I think my air conditioner was running in my video. And you can enhance your video here as well. Timing is a really cool function. You can go in fast, you can make something go in slow motion, or you can customize the frame. You can even put it in reverse. One thing I would caution with going fast or slow is it does mess with the pitch and can distort your audio. You can preserve pitch if you'd like to, however, you'll probably still hear some distortion, just to be aware of that. You can also choose different filters. It's kind of just like choosing an Instagram filter or anything else. You can use one click to show a cool filter. And then last, you just have information. So I want to know what the title of my clip here was. That's where it is here. And of course I can play my clips. I can use the timeline down here to select where I want to start viewing it. And then I can play it here. With the limited time we have here, I will continue to show you just a few more features that are pretty cool. There are just too many features in iMovie to explain in 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll go over overlaying your video and audio. So I'll change my settings down here for my timeline to show my entire clip. So now 2.5 minutes is within my timeline. As I mentioned before, you can detach the audio, and now I can overlay them. So if I want my audio, or let's say I want to add this is a JPEG. So if I want to add my JPEG over here, but I want my audio to continue to play over it, I can, let's say I want to clip my video here, and I can delete this part and then have my audio play over the next part of it. In this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you how to do a kind of picture-in-picture. So if I take a picture, or it could be even another video, and I put it above my video. Now if I put it right over it, it'll replace it. So I'm going to put it right above it, and then it will enable the picture-in-picture options right here. So I can show it as a cutaway, split screen, or picture-in-picture, where my JPEG is now just a kind of a talking head, like a TV news you would see. And you can change what effect you want to have as it zooms in, if it has a border, any of those sorts of things. I also like to show you the green screen effect. Specifically, I'm going to do a typewriter animation. Although you could use the green screen effect for an actual, like, kids play with a green screen behind them, and then you put a background behind it. I'm going to change my background, obviously, to green so that it works in iMovie. And I will select my text and add an effect. Mine's under recent effects, but it appears under appear and move. I can make it as fast or slow as I want. All right, so now I'll go to File, Export to QuickTime. Make sure that it's self-playing, and I can do any format that I want to. And now I'll save it here. Now that I've created my typewriter animation in Keynote, I can import it into my media library here and drag and drop it over wherever in my video I want it to display. Now when you get here, it's going straight to my video overlay settings, but I see that it's cropped here, so I'll go over to the cropping to make sure that it is in a place where I'm going to be able to see it. You can also do the Ken Burns effect with this to have it zoom in, but I will leave it here. And instead of cutaway, I'm going to go to the blue screen effect, and now it puts it right over. If I queue up my video right here, you can see that it'll display like so. When you're done with your movie and ready to export it, you'll go to File, Share, and you can export it to any of these tools. I'm going to simply save it as a file. You can save it as audio only or video. You can change the resolution and the quality and choose the location where you want to save it. And that's it. iMovie is an excellent content creation tool to use in blended learning solutions. It will work well in blending learning solutions to create dynamic, multimedia, asynchronous learning content, such as a tutorial or maybe an intro or wrap-up to modules, including TV news style with picture-in-picture effects, or to break up synchronous lectures or presentations. It supports learning by using graphics as well as audio to encourage transfer and dual encoding of knowledge into long-term memory and capture the audience's attention. It also supports learning by students who may be remotely located and not have access to experts or mentors nearby, and can allow students to view the content at any time or place that's convenient for them. It's fairly user-friendly with a clean interface design that's easy to navigate. It's very reliable, it never once crashed on me or lost any content, and it's a desktop application, so no need to have internet access to use it. It's free and comes preloaded on any Apple devices, and there's no security-related concerns. It's fully supported with a robust internal help menu, as well as thousands of user-created YouTube and web tutorials. As for integration within my organization, some Coast Guard units have standalone iPads for field or aviation use, but if Coasties wanted to use iMovie, they would generally have to create the content on their personal computer, then save it as an MP4 or other video content and send it to their Coast Guard computer. As for shortfalls, it's not perfectly intuitive, and some intermediate or advanced techniques might require using the help function or watching or reading tutorials or lots of experimentation and practice. Additionally, it lacks the variety and quality of professional video editing tools and effects like advanced color and audio correction, the ability to manipulate titles, and greater variety of animations or GIFs or avatars. Another downside is that it can require use of multiple programs like Keynote or PowerPoint to add content that work around the program's limitations. So verdict, if you're editing video for a full-length movie or want some of the professional quality features I mentioned, choose a more professional and probably expensive software. If you don't need those features, you can create great quality content with iMovie. Thank you for watching this presentation on the iMovie application.